Are we just weeks away? Well, let's get down into the discussion as we talk about what's happening within Bitcoin and the United States. Will we see the Bitcoin strategic reserve just weeks away? I want to give you guys my thoughts. We'll look at Bitcoin on the day. So this will be some crypto breaking news if we do follow the timeline set out by Bitcoin Magazine CEO in this video, where we discuss this as well as my thoughts as David Bailey takes us down that road. Will we see the Bitcoin strategic reserve deployed in just weeks? So we're going to look into a couple tweets as well as the charts, and I'll give you guys my thoughts moving forward. So welcome back to the channel. For those of you that are new here, my name is Mark. We do talk crypto each and every day. And if you're following along on X, make sure you guys all be sure to give me a follow. And if you haven't done so, I want you to leave a comment. Let me know your thoughts. When we will see the Bitcoin reserve deployed? Okay. So let's get down into it. This is coming out, like I said, from David Bailey, the Bitcoin Magazine CEO. We are going to look at the price right now as we dive into what Bitcoin's doing on the day. You can see right now the overall market's kind of trying to figure out its footing. Me personally, I think this is something where we're going to have some volatility. It's going to be a little bit rocky for a while until we get some settling from all the tariff talk and the discussions going on. It seems like every single day Donald Trump takes pen to paper and makes something landmark happen within politics, and that's always going to be something that's going to create more volatility, and it's going to create a lot of uneasiness and unrestfulness when we talk about crypto trading, because digital assets will get hit harder. Okay, so let's get back into the discussion. If you guys haven't done so already, like I said, make sure you all subscribe. We are going to look into the actual Bitcoin chart real quickly on BTCC, and I'm going to get into those numbers right now, and we have wicked up pretty nicely, and this was taken back from March 11th. We were on a steady downward trend where we were below 80K for quite a little bit, more so than you would actually think, in my opinion. I don't really understand why we gave back all the gains. We had the most profitable and pro-crypto environment in the history of crypto trading, and everybody and their brother just decide, hey, let's just throw that all out the window and sell, okay? So a lot of people actually made the pun implying that Donald Trump is the new Jim Cramer. Anytime Trump says buy or he buys, you should be selling. So that was a little bit comic relief, but there's nothing funny about Bitcoin under 80,000 when we were just trading above 100K a few weeks ago. So that's kind of how I feel about it. When we talk about the narrative getting any deeper down, I think that we have to look at the floor being at around 75,000, in my personal opinion. I don't think that if anything drops below that, then that's going to be something really crazy that will take us even lower. But if we do see a breakdown to those levels, that's when you really got to start to panic. But I think right now, if you look long term, this could be the cheapest price Bitcoin is for a long time. It might be the cheapest that we will ever see if the markets do tend to shift. And one thing that nobody talks about that I think is relevant is the fact that we historically have always traded on 4-year cycles, coinciding with the Bitcoin halvings, coinciding with presidential elections. What happens if that all goes away? What if there is no altcoin season and Bitcoin does not have kind of these halving cycles? What if it just happens and that's just part of the day? And then we just get this gradual trading where, that's kind of how, in my opinion, crypto should be. It shouldn't be these big ebbs and flows. It should be more stable as supplies start to get more scarce. That's what we should see, technically speaking. So those are just my thoughts. Leave a comment down below. Do you agree with me in that regard? Also, guys, if you want to trade spot and futures, BTCC, one of the longest standing exchanges out there, is a partner of mine. There is a link down below to get hooked up with that exchange. They have some promotions going on as well. You can trade leverage on this if you are from the United States. Keep that in mind. So that's why a lot of traders use BTCC. Check them out. Links down below. If it's right for you and you want to start trading, start today with my link. Okay. But that's where we're going to look into the weeks coming. David Bailey in this actual post, okay, and it's a very rapid post, saying that the implementation of the strategic reserve executive order is far tighter than the market anticipates. The timeline is measured in days and weeks, not months or years. So kind of, a fluke, if you will, where we haven't really seen that momentum from Bitcoin, from crypto. Usually it's a slow process. We've seen it with all these lawsuits and whatnot, with the SEC and battles within just little tidbits of regulation and legislation. It takes years, and now David Bailey is talking about this being a lot faster than the market is anticipating. And that's where I want to remind you guys, and it's not financial advice. I'll never tell you all to buy or sell a crypto, but just as quick as the market can see this downturn where Bitcoin goes from 100,000 all the way down to 75 and under, you have to keep in mind that there is that same reciprocal effect where Bitcoin can go from where we're at right here, around 80,000, back to 100,000, just like that as well. So that's kind of what you go into. Saying that they need formal legislation help, that's kind of what's going to have to happen. I could see this one getting stuck a little bit in Congress personally. So these comments from David Bailey are not to be taken lightly. However, they are something that I do think has a little bit more resistance along the way than maybe he is letting on to believe. Okay. Now, we talk BTC reserves, we talk ETFs, all these things that are new to us as crypto traders. And what does it matter? What is the common good? What is the greater good? Why do we need them? Okay. Well, do the math on this one, guys. We're seeing some crazy numbers within inflows. You have this domino effect. Once the United States does a Bitcoin reserve, then we're going to see other countries look to follow suit. And that obviously will take a lot of the supply away from BTC. And the finite numbers that we do have will increase the scarcity, which would be in turn very, very great for Bitcoin. So kind of coming back to that whole narrative, should we be buying Bitcoin every day? Should we be accumulating? Should we be taking the Michael Saylor approach? That's kind of what it's leading on to believe. And if we look into where we're at right now, you need to take a step back and ask yourselves, in 10 years from now, if we had a choice, would you rather have Bitcoin now or Bitcoin in 10 years? And if you think 10 years is going to be more favorable, then you might want to take that approach right now in 2025, okay? So other things coming into the fold, obviously there is a stablecoin bill that needs to happen, banking across the cryptocurrency deposits, structured rules within DeFi and SEC, CFTC oversight. Those are things that are going to be on the docket. We'll see if they actually trump the order of which gets done first, but that's kind of where it leads into the narrative and a lot of the questions that have unanswered, okay? Now, one thing that we want to talk about is kind of how Alex Thorn distinguishes between the United States government's Bitcoin holdings and those designated for the strategic reserves. Okay, right now the government possesses approximately 200,000 Bitcoin. Now, I have seen different numbers, so we're going to use 200,000 in this piece just for this argument. But 80,000 of those are allocated for the reserve, and then a separate 112,000 BTC that were seized from illicit activities are set to be returned to Bitfinex. However, it remains uncertain whether those funds will be ultimately released as planned. Time will tell. We'll see what happens, but right now we think that the current U.S. Bitcoin balance sheet our balance available for repurposing into a reserve is 88,000 Bitcoin only. All right, so 43% of those government holdings. That's because of the 198,000 Bitcoin now held by USG. That way we'll have 112,000 returned to Bitfinex, and then the market will learn the difference between seized and forfeited. So that is a very, very important tweet from Alex Thorn. If you want to know more about that, give him a follow. Credit to Alex for that one. But for guys and gals watching, what it comes down to is the United States are going to hold a ton of Bitcoin, okay? They are going to become one of the biggest holders of Bitcoin. And not just that, other countries are going to follow suit. The domino effect that is going to shortly ensue after, that's what I have my eyes on. And if we are just weeks away, it's hard to be anything but bullish for Bitcoin right here as we watch this video. So appreciate you all tuning in. Giving me a couple minutes of your time. If you haven't done so already, like I said, subscribe down below. Check out the link also in the description for BTCC. And also, if you're following along on X, appreciate you guys watching. Make sure you give me a follow on that platform, and we will see you in the next video. Cheers.